I'm waiting today for Rita Powers and her daughter Jennifer to come down from Minneapolis to look at some products in the shop. They're looking for some reclaimed things. I want to take Jennifer around the shop. We have a lot of old reclaimed iron. We have some of our reclaimed products that are already down, but it would give her a chance to see what we're about and we can get a feel for what she's looking for.
I'm Rita Powers, and I live in Elgin, and we came to Barndogglers I'm in need of a mantle, switching out my wimpy little one. I need a bulky something that has meaning behind it. Yeah. So that brings me here.
Yeah, and I'm Jennifer Powers Brecky, and I came down from the Twin Cities because my mom told me about Barndogglers, and I'm looking to get an accent wall in our bedroom of just rustic old barnwood that I know is actual barnwood. So I'm not afraid of that. I'm fine with holes or what cracks, anything.
Well, that is the natural state, Jennifer. Yeah. Literally, where these pieces are ripped out. This was a barn door in a dairy barn. So obviously, what probably got a hold of some big old bovine, put its head out here, had the old numbers on them. It hooked it and ripped it off.
Interesting.
It is. It's as legitimate as we can make it. I think this is a neat piece.
That is so cool.
But this is as accurate as we can make it.
I know.
But that's the window. You'll see a picture of us taking it out. If somebody wanted that in their house as it is, it's as complete as we can get it. I can tell it's going to be awful important to get Rita and Jennifer out barndoggling on some of the sites. I really think Jennifer needs to touch and feel some of the products she's looking to buy. I think it'll help sell the product. If she sees it, it'll authenticate it, and it'll make it an easier sale. We're ready to do some barndoggling with Rita and Jennifer Powers. Yeah. We're taking them first to Bob Clausen's, and then we're probably going to go to Dean Grainer's, and we're going to make a day out of her.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, 10 below, probably 50 below with the wind chill, but we're out barndoggling.
Yeah. This was the Cadillac.
Really?
This was a Cadillac. This is all Douglas fir.
Wow.
These beams for flooring, I think it's just gorgeous. Here is your board, the board that we were looking at.
Really?
I cut it. It was all the way across here.
I would never have guessed a gorgeous board like that came from that.
Yeah, it's a feed trough.
If you'd shown me this, I'd have said, nope, let's move on.
Nope, honest. This is where I cut it with the chainsaw.
It's just insane to me that these are the boards that you saw something in, and I would never be able to see that. And then I saw what you did with it at the shop. I would never have been able to see that out of this.
I get a kick out of this because somebody
what is it?
hung this on the wall 60 years ago and walked away. It's a drinking cup for the cow's water. And we got to be careful. I didn't tell you about the skunks that live here. So let's just go right on. See, that's probably not the kitty. That's a raccoon.
Oh my gosh.
Nope, that's...
That would be cool too.
There is a skull. There are skulls of animals.
Yes, that's because it's part of the circle of life. Well, we just finished up at the Bob Clausen barn, but we really need to get her over to Dean Grainer's barn. It has some awesome beams that are hand-hewn, axe cut that I think she would really like to see. I think they're going to amaze her.
Okay, that other place they called it naily roof pine or whatever.
That's naily roof pine.
Yep.
Yes, that's what it is. You take it, but you got to peel all the shakes off. You got to peel the asphalt shingles off. You know, we can put these in houses to beam the house.
Yep.
The fasteners that are holding it together were made in a blacksmith shop in Kellogg in 1894.
Oh my gosh.
No, but this is, and the lineal, like that beam on top there spans almost 40 feet to its splice. Well, here, look at that hand hewn.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. That is what my fireplace mantle is.
Yep.
And it has those
That's the
rectangular.
mortise. That's called a mortise and a tenon. That's what
Okay,
they-
mortise and
yeah.
tenon.
Yeah. So then, because it's cut out, they chisel it.
Yeah.
And that's the mortising and the tenioning. But this whole ensemble is, yeah, it's awesome. I mean, that is.
That's gorgeous.
And if I told you, you know, if you said, hey, I want that,
Yeah.
that's what you would get. Springs. There's others in your board. See, if you go here, look at this. Here's your hand here.
Oh, that's so gorgeous.
That's your hand.
And
here.
the nails in
Yeah.
it.
But,
I know. I was.
yeah, yeah. There's
What
a
is
tag.
that?
There's a, or probably just a slip they wrote, you know, 50 bushels of something. There was an old grain chute.
So cool.
You know, and this is where you have to find the right kind of a house.
Right.
Because you could take this and put it back in the house as
Yeah.
it is. As a partition wall, as a separation,
Yeah.
as whatever. You just won't find it. This tree was cut in 1894, so I'm assuming the tree was probably close to 100 years old in itself. And this tree was born, would have been literally around the birth of our country. You know,
Wow.
1780s, 90s, whatever. And that's what just amazes the
Yeah.
daylights on it.
It was so cool to walk through that barn that was built in 1890 and to see exactly where my boards are going to be coming from. They'll tell a story in my house. I want to be able to tell people about that story. In particular, the coolest thing were those hand-hewn beams. I was in love with those. I have always liked that look. And just to know that I can see those. I've never seen them before. I have a mantle in my house that is made from hand-hewn, but I was never able to see what that looked like in the barn. That those are what it held up, and the roof and all of that, and to see that was incredible. I just loved it. It was such a great day barndoggling today with Mike. We learned so much about the history of the barns. It was so cool to see the boards and the beams in the barn as they are right now.
And all the other stuff about the barn, the stanchions, all the metal
Yeah.
pieces. We're definitely going to come back.